All right, well, welcome back in to the studio. This time I am going to continue working in my little Bricolage Factory teal journal that I did the Seek, Gather, Create for August of 2024. I never did the February Seek, Gather, Create because I had too much going on at that time. So I'm coming back to work in this on this scavenger hunt. So the items that we had to gather for the first week of February was a fish, a circle, something see-through, and something blue. I decided to work with this page. There is something blue here, but I did also pull out some of my Masha's watercolors. These are handmade watercolors. I have Ocean Wave, Storm, and Blue Iron, which is one of my favorites, and I felt like this would go really well with some of the color that was on this page. And circles, it made me think of this bubbly type circle stencil from TCW. As always, I will have any products that I use or mention listed down below in the description box. So there's always that if you're questioning what something is. So I think I'm going to work with this stencil. And then for something see-through, maybe think of this matte film by Graphics, Duralar, a two-sided matte film, which is definitely see-through. And you can work on both sides of this. It's awesome. It accepts inks, lead, color pencil, cuts cleanly, erases easily. So I thought about that. And a fish. I mean, I love fish. Fish are my thing. Well, mushrooms are my thing, but fish are my thing. I'm a Pisces. I've always collected fish in the past, but I find myself in my late 50s without fish items, which really, I was like, oh, there's gotta be a fish in the Richard Scarry book. And this is a book I have of his. I cut stuff out of it. It's seen some love here, but after scrolling through it, I did find this. And it's silly. There's a shark, there's a swordfish, there's an actual fish, and there's a tuna fish. So I thought that's an option. I wasn't really sold on it because it's a little big and I don't know. But I'm gonna keep my eyes out. Maybe something else fishy will come up. I really thought it was interesting that I don't have a stencil that has a fish pattern on it. But, you know, c'est la vie. So I think I'm going to do some collaging on this. I don't know if I want to use anything out of my bits basket this time. I wasn't sure. I really don't want this dark. This is shiny paper, so it's calling to have some collage work done on it. But I just didn't have anything that, I wasn't positive about anything going down out of my bits basket, but now that I'm looking, I'm seeing a few things that might be kind of fun. These are alcohol, this is alcohol ink on this from a spray. You can see a stencil here, but I really love this pattern here, so that might work. I really need to get this basket down, but at the same time, I've been working out of it for a while. So this might be fun. Let me go grab this paper. So this is a scrap piece of some tissue fabric. I'll list a link up here to my video where I made these. And this might be fun. So this is where you use jelly paper or tissue paper. Most of these are tissue paper. And this is gauze on this one. Different fabrics you add to it. So that's this. And that one, if I'm recalling right, ooh, that would be fun too. If I recall right, this was made with baby wipes. This was an old used baby wipe. So I think I'm going to get some of this. And I added some fibers to it. That's what all this is. All right, that might be fun. We're getting a little on the teal side here instead of blue, but teal is a type of blue, right? Yeah, so if you want to see how I made all of these, here's some burlap stuff that I made. They're a lot of fun to make and to work with. So I think this is probably good to get started with because I'm also going to do some stenciling. So yeah, let's get started here and see what happens. I'll leave my bits basket out just in case I'm looking for something more. And I do decide to collage a little bit more on here because I felt like I needed to bring the words, start to bring the words over to the left page. And so I do pull out a little bit of text and kind of bring your eye from where the text already is across the page and over onto the left side. Now I'm coming in to use that stencil, and I'm going to be using a medium called Easy Structure. It is a PowerText product. It's a versatile white paste. It's very similar to modeling paste. It's incredibly smooth. It adds texture and depth, and it definitely reacts differently when you apply color over it, and you'll see that here. Sometimes, depending on what the medium is, that it will react differently as well. So it is a lot of fun, creates a lot of dimension, and like I said, it's very much similar to modeling paste. And that Easy Structure is very smooth once it dries to the touch. And so next I'm going to come in with the Mash's granulating a watercolor in blue iron, and I really wanted to see how that watercolor behaved with that easy structure. And it really pulled in the depths, the recesses that were left from that stencil. And that was exactly what I was really looking for. And you can just really see the granulating effect of this watercolor. It's fantastic. And I was really surprised of how much color got absorbed or retained itself on the top of that easy structure. And once I get that watercolor good and dry, I'm going to come in with my usual technique of going in with some of the white gesso with my fingers and doing that dance, that push and pull, bringing some stuff forward and pushing some stuff back. I'm really going to concentrate on the tops of that easy structure and get that brought back to white, and kind of do some blending of areas that were too dark or I wanted to push back a little bit.
Just remember where we're going, and remember where we've been. We can breathe underwater. Nothing can hurt us anymore. And as long as we're together, it doesn't matter where we.
All right, now to solve the dilemma, the fish dilemma, I decided that the images that I found in the Richard Scarry book were just too childlike and wouldn't really go with this layout. Plus, they were really large and I didn't really want to separate all the fish. So I decided to draw my own. So I did pull out that Duralar, and with a pencil I sketched out a couple of pretty basic fish, and then I used Posca pen I used a black and a white to trace them, to trace my pencil marks.
Nothing can hurt us anymore. And as long as we're together, it doesn't matter where we are. But I do hear the oceans roar. Wrap your arms around me now. Wrap your arms around me now. We can breathe underwater. Nothing
And while I love that blue iron watercolor and the peek through of that turquoise from the paper, the fabric paper or the tissue fabric that I had collaged down, I felt like I needed to have more of an ocean blue coming into this. And so I really wanted something really nice and bright. And I really wanted, I wanted a little bit of glimmer. You know how when sun shines off of the tops of the water or the waves and you can see that glimmer? I wanted to kind of get some of that. So I decided to come in with some Lindy's spray, and I chose Bachelor Button Blue. This is a new Lindy's color for me. And I've been trying to develop some of the colors that I don't use a lot, but I'm finding that I'm being more drawn to, and blue is one of those. That's what inspired that purchase. At least that's what I'm saying, and I'll stick to it. So I'm going to come in and touch up some areas, add some of that bright blue to it. Now, I did lose a little of that blue iron in the process, but I think it still really pops through in areas.
Who's gonna make you not blue? Not blue. Blue too. Bad blue. Sort of witty and jaded, but let's not talk about you. Your coyote song on a rerun. Are you hound dog tired singing all night long? Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna make you?
Fussy cutting my little fishies. That is what's happening. And then I got to figure out where to put them. I'm amazed that it didn't take me longer to try and figure out where I wanted to put them. That part usually, takes me a while, like when trying to find words. So I got those fussy cutted. And then now I'm going to look for, I'm going to trace the bubbles or the circles from that stencil and cut those out and edge them in some white Posca pen so they show up and pop off the page a little bit more, give it a little dimension. And I'm going to glue those down as well as my little fishies so they can have little air bubbles floating up. I thought that worked really well with the circles of the stencil. I'm going to get all those adhered to the page with some of my Fabri-Tac glue.
You need a picture, but like it's old. It's hard to take one when your iPhone's full. Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna make you not blue?
And sometimes the struggle is super real when it comes to finding the right words for a layout. And you know, you're searching, you're getting frustrated. Well, at least I was getting frustrated. And finally, the right words showed up at the bottom of that tin, and I was good to go. But sometimes it is a real struggle. And I'm going to glue that down with my Barely Arts glue. I am going to come around it and give a little bit of a shadow with my blue Stabilo All and using my water brush, and that is going to be it. Thank you so much for coming along and watching the Seek, Gather, Create from back in February of this year. And I will be coming out with week 2 in a little bit, hopefully soon.
So you don't know what you're doing, and the walls are closing in. Just remember